This is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power and the Black Love Movement. Go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube, subscribe and share so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. I promise you this is going to be one for the ages for you ladies, you queens out there. So please share this message if you're bold enough to. Viewer discretion is advised, but since it is for the sisters, I'm going to try to behave myself tonight. But you know, however your brother pop off, it's always for the betterment of our people. So tonight's message is called He Saw the Best in Me When Everyone Else Saw the Worst in Me by our brother Marvin Sapp. Well, I thought you was a Muslim, Brother Shareef. Well, I am. And we're also taught to recognize truth wherever it is, whether it's the church, the mosque, the street, on top of a bridge, under a bridge, wherever truth is, we're supposed to recognize it. He saw the best in me when everyone else saw the worst in me. What is wrong with that? So we're going to give it a couple of seconds and we're going to get popping here. I hope everyone is doing all right. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And the Hour of Power and the Black Love Movement is making this Women's Month. Everything we do this month is pretty much going to be dedicated to women, and in conjunction with recognizing Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So it's going to be a power-packed month. So I'm going to get started with prayer. In the name of God, the gracious, the merciful, we give him praise and thanks for his mercy and his goodness to the human family. If all the trees upon the earth were pens to write with, and if all the oceans were ink, and then another 7 oceans to add to its supply, the writing is still not be enough to explain the glory of God, for he's the exalted, all-powerful, all-wise. We confide in no other in our time of need. We praise no other in our good fortune. He is one. And even if I live to be 1,000, the writing would still not be enough to explain the glory of God, for he's the exalted, all-powerful, all-wise. So again, this is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power and the Black Love Movement. Go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube, subscribe and share so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. Definitely tune into the Hour of Power this Wednesday, October the 3rd at 8 p.m. on Channel 16 Local Access TV, streaming live on Facebook. We will have my wife Takia and a lady who brought me, a sister who brought me into Islam and helped me develop into the man that I am. I'm talking about Miss Shahida Muhammad. So they will talk about the value of women. They'll address domestic violence, how to prevent it. It is going to be power packed. So tune in October the 3rd at 8 p.m. on Channel 16 Local Access TV, streaming live on Facebook. On October the 6th, which is Saturday, we support each other. I can't speak for anyone else. This ain't no competition. The only one I'm trying to impress is the Most High. I ain't in competition with no one. Petals for Peace, they'll be meeting at the Rev Stadium there, which is off of George Street, and I think that's Norway Street, at 11 a.m. And they will be on their bikes and they'll circle throughout the city at 11 a.m. this Saturday, October the 6th. At the same time, Saturday, October the 6th, at the CVS at the bottom of the hill out west end, which is on the corner of Princess and Richland Avenue, the street soldiers led by my good brother Fred Walker in Shiloh Church, they'll be meeting there and they're going to walk up the street. Okay, Sister Alicia said North Street. Thank you. That's why it's good to have good help. So October the 6th at 11 a.m. on at the CVS at the bottom of the hill, which is on the corner of Princess and Richland Avenue. The street soldiers will be meeting there, and then they're going to walk up through the city to Princess Street at the scene of where the violence happened. Rest in peace to the young man. I think his name is Desmond. And it was another brother who lost their life. A lot of people were upset. They shooken, but we can't keep doing the same thing. We got to reach these youth. We got to reach them. Hence We just can't be reactionary, because then we're just waiting for the next tragedy, and that could happen to any of us. Hence is why I need y'all help on this one. There's a lot going on. Also on October the 6th, they'll be having the Sister Circle at 306 East King Street, Closet and Career. The Sister Circle. You can contact Lady Hamid or Sister Tanya Larry with the movement. That's 2 p.m., 306 East King Street, for all women to talk about their issues. And that's really important now with it being Women's Month. Talk about your issues, commune together. Whatever goes on there stays there. That's the Sister Circle, 2 p.m., 306 East King Street this Saturday. So a lot is going on Saturday. October the 8th. October the 8th. Now it's getting real now. October the 8th is what? It's Columbus Day. Our children to be off of school for this demon. Viewer discretion is advised. But I'm going to try to be nice because this is for the sisters. This demon, known as Christopher Columbus, he was a rapist, a child molester, a pedophile, and a mass serial killer and murderer. Okay? And our children will be off. I'm asking the community and the youth to meet us at Penn Park, 12 noon, October the 8th, on Monday. Since the children will be off, we're going to have a family reunion. We're going to have some snacks there. And we're going to teach them the truth of why they're off and why we should be saying no to Columbus Day. That's the title and the theme of that day. Say no to Columbus Day. Again, he is a murderer, a child molester, a thief, a robber. He's all that and some. But none of it is positive, especially not to be getting no holiday. Our children need to know this. How can we say respect women, especially with this being Women's Month? Don't abuse women. Don't sexually assault children. And on and on and on. But we got a holiday for a documented murderer, child abuser, child molester, pedophile. They need to be told the truth. I broke it down to my boys, but I've been speaking to them. They already know the truth. I gave it to them raw, just like it is, because that's just how I am. Now, I can't necessarily do that with someone else's child. And Sister Tanya asked me earlier, Sister Tanya Morgan said, well, Brother Shareef, I looked at your video, and that was kind of raw about what you said about Christopher Columbus. What's the age range of these children is going to be there? Well, we know the age range of some of them, and I will use some tact, but when is the right time to tell them the truth? When these rappers want to poison their mind with filth and all these nasty, filthy dances, teaching them how to be seductive and all that, they don't ask no age range. They just put it on BET and whatever, right? So why should we be reluctant to give them the truth? But I understood what my sister was saying, Tanya. So we will use some tact and telling them the truth. But again, October the 8th, 12 noon at Penn Park. And anyone watching out further, I advise you to do the same thing. October the 8th, 12 noon at Penn Park. Bring the youth, bring yourself, bring the community members. We're going to say no to Columbus Day. All right? Now, he saw the best in me when everyone else around saw the worst in me. This month is dedicated to women, and particularly Black and Latino women, our sisters. Our women, have been given a bad rap on purpose for many, many years. The conspiracy to destroy black women by my brother Michael Porter. Look at that picture. The Atlantic Ocean in the back. And a sister looking broken. This is a deliberate attempt to destroy our women through music, movies, stereotypes, right? This has been a deliberate attempt. But today, the BS ends. And some of it we have to take responsibility for. So I'm just getting a little rough stuff out of the way. And then the Black Love Movement and the Hour of Power, we're going to put you in your righteous place right now. If you can hang in there with me a couple more minutes. Our sister Trish Whedon said, Lerone Bennett, author of Before the Mayflower. Yes, I actually have that book. That's a very good read. Glad you brought that up. So we want to lift the black woman and put her in her rightful place right now. This is Women's Month and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. One, we're going to get the rough stuff out of the way. I'm going to be nice. And then we're going to lift you to your elevated place where you belong. The black woman. First of all, by one of their own anthropologists, anthropologist by the name of Dr. Louis Leakey, back in the 60s, he went to Kenya and he found bones of a black woman dated back over 4 million years. And he called the bones Lucy after the hit Beatles song called Lucy. This is an anthropologist by the name of Dr. Louis Leakey. An anthropologist is someone that studies bones. And he found bones of a black woman in Kenya dating back 4 million years, saying that was the first bones and the oldest bones of a human being. And if they keep on digging, they'll find that we're almost like an infinite circle. No beginning, no end. So the black woman is the mother of the earth. You got that title. You got that title. You just need to know it and wear it. Or like my sister Alicia said, wear your crown. You are the mother of the earth. They admit this. I forgot to bring the book where I got it, but all you got to do is Google Dr. Louis Leakey and his findings. Found bones of a sister back in Kenya dating back 4 million years. And they named the bones Lucy after the hit Beatles song, Lucy, by the Beatles, the white group called Beatles. So you are the mother of the earth. Everyone else is your children and stepchildren. Wear your crown, queen. Wear your crown. Now, how did we get in this place where some of us don't know our value? In this great book, The Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Woman by Michael Porter, he writes, and I have to agree with him, it's the deliberate attempt by America and some of our negligence is black men, the single black female effect, what he calls it. The effect of many families are headed, many households are headed by single black women, and grandmothers and grandfathers are stepping in to raise the family. Where's the black man? And then he goes on to say how that destroys the fiber of the family, because now a single black mother a lot of times is trying to raise these children. Come on, brothers, take care of your children. We got to get this family unit back together. God first, the man, the women, and the children. That is the unit, right? And then Brother Michael Porter, in this book, The Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Woman, he says, how is it that African, now he's talking about other cultures. He said, how is it that Africans, Asians, Arabs, and people from other countries, men, listen to this, men and women married, remain married, and some of them are virtual strangers picked by their parents. Now, I'm Muslim, and a lot of the mosques I go to, I went to mosques all up and down this coast and some in other countries. So I am very familiar with the cultures of other countries, of Africans, Asians, Arabs. I know what they do. I know their family norms. Look what this brother is asking. He said, how can Africans, Asians, Arabs, women and men married, stay married, and some of them are arranged marriages, meaning they're actually meeting a stranger. So some people say, well, they're married because their parents forced them to. Okay, so how about when the parents step out and then they're older? No one is forcing them to do that for the most part, but they're staying married. Brother Porter is saying the reason why they stayed married is because they still have their cultural views and norms, where the black people here in America, we are totally gone. And our African values and principles have been totally erased. So now people marry who they want to marry, no supervision. And a lot of times people are marrying based off of looks or just money. Oh, she got all this and junk in the trunk, or he got a little muscles or whatever. And then 6 months later, see what I mean? But these people are holding on to their values even with white supremacy and invasion. They still held on to their values. Where's our values? I made a post the other day about my guardian son and my 2 boys. We was at the York High game. And my boys had ate before we got to the game because I don't like buying all that food and stuff, and I don't eat it anyway. But you know how children are. So my guardian son was there. He went and got some chicken fingers and some fries, and he started sharing with my boys, which was an admirable thing. But he was doing African culture, and he didn't even know it. They were all eating from the same plate. He said, here, it's yours. And they were all eating from the same plate. And I actually learned that back in North Carolina. My good brother, Dr. Umar, came down there. And we took him out to eat. And I think we went to a Somalian restaurant. I believe it was Somalian, but it was African. And they put a big bowl in the middle of the table. And me not knowing, I was like, where's my bowl? And he said, brother, that is your bowl. That is all y'all bowl. Y'all eat from the same plate. And they actually get offended. Because it ain't your plate, that causes division. They said that is your plate. And we all ate from the same plate. We are totally removed from our African values and principles. And now on the brothers, we have been turned into a Frankenstein creation, meaning that if you go back to the story of Frankenstein wasn't created by God. He was created by an evil man that was arrogant who wanted to be God. And he turned Frankenstein into some freak creation. And that is what has happened to a lot of our brothers. They are a Frankenstein creation. We were taught when the black woman was brought here, she never had no protection once she got here because the black man wasn't protected. She was raped, disrespected, abused, and used. And now we are doing exactly what we were taught to do by European invasion and our slave master. We're doing it willingly. It's like it's on remote control. And now our families are destroyed. That's a talk all within itself. So the solution is we got to bring the family together. With my good brother Alafia, we've been teaching the brothers to address the sisters as queens. No domestic violence. Respect the woman and vice versa. Respect that brother. When we bring that family back together, the mask is going to come off. The mask of deception and the tricks is going to come off, just like Scooby-Doo. You know, I give analogies. You got to understand these commercials and these movies and even some of these cartoons has a lot of subliminal message with it. What was Scooby-Doo all about? It was these children going around, right? In whatever town they went to, they knew something wasn't right. Follow me. They knew something wasn't right. And it was always some devil causing chaos and fear in the town with a lie. Had everyone shook with a lie. But these children, these innocent children said something ain't right. Or like the Andy Griffith Show said, something ain't right, Andy. Something ain't right. They always knew something wasn't right. And what a little investigation and what a little education. And the Most High reached out to them children talking about Shaggy, Scooby, and Thelma and Fred. The Most High injected some heart into them. And they said, even though this monster got us shook, we know something ain't right. And once they did a little investigation and pulled the mask off, game over. Game over. No one was afraid anymore. And all their tricks with all the imaginary things that they were doing, game over once the mask came off. Once we put our families together and teach our children their history, like what we're trying to do on October the 8th and expose the true history of Christopher Columbus, game over. Game over, just like Scooby-Doo. Don't just think that's a normal commercial, not commercial, a cartoon. Remember, the children knew something wasn't right. And once they did a little investigation and they educated themselves and educated the people. Remember, the monster or whoever was pulling this stunt always had the whole town shook. Don't that sound familiar? Got the whole town shook. Everyone running around quiet. But once they did the investigation and the mask came off, game over. That's all we got to do. Game over. Now, to the upliftment of the black woman. This is what we got to do this is what we're doing to uplift the black woman in the month of October. All women, but in particularly the black woman. That's all. No shade on anyone else. We're not trying to hurt anyone else. We're just taking a woman who has been put out of her rightful place and deliberately been tried to be destroyed. So we're just trying to lift her back up. I don't hate white people. Hate is wasted energy. How can I be a therapist, try to lift the mind, body, and soul of people, then have hate and rancor in my heart? What I hate is the lies and the tricks. That's what I hate, but I don't hate no one. Now, listen to this, sister. This is for you, sisters, to get back to your rightful place. Septima Clark, born 1898 to 1987. She was an educator, a civil rights activist who established citizenship of schools to help blacks vote. She was a pioneer in helping black teachers get hired in the South. Septima Clark, 1898 to 1987, an educator, a civil rights activist. She helped get citizenship in schools to help blacks vote, and she was a pioneer to help black teachers get hired in the South. Septima Clark. Have you ever heard of her? If you're enjoying this message so far, give me a black fist sign, a heart emoji, or something if you're enjoying this message and you're learning. How about Mary Church Terrell? 1863 to 1954, part of the women's suffrage movement, first president of the National Association of Colored Women, and one of the first black women to be awarded a college degree. Mary Church Terrell, part of the women's suffrage movement, first president of the National Association of Colored Women, one of the first black women in America to be awarded a college degree. How about my favorite sister, Ida B. Wells, 1862 to 1931, helped bring national attention to the horrors of lynchings in the South. You've seen some of the books that I've showed. She was an investigative journalist. 70 years before Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus, Ida B. Wells refused to give up her seat on a train in Memphis from a white man who told her to get up. They was on a train going to Memphis. 70 years before Rosa Parks gave up her seat. See how they lie and leave things out? 70 years before Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus in Alabama, Ida B. Wells refused to give up her seat in Memphis, going to Memphis on a train. A white man dragged her off the train. She sued him and won $500 back in the 1870s. Ida B. Wells. She was dragged off the train, and that is a heck of a lot of money in the 1870s and 1880s. 70 years before Rosa Parks did that, Ida B. Wells did the same thing. No one talks about it. A black man had a grocery store there in Memphis. White people liked it so much, they stopped going to the white grocery store and started going to the black grocery store. The KKK got jealous, burned the store down, and killed the brother. She developed a rally or a movement, so to speak, through her newspaper, and she ordered 500 people to leave Memphis at one time. I forgot the year. How did she do that with no Facebook, no Instagram, no instant messenger? 500 people, it might have been more than that, left Memphis at one time because of what happened to her brothers at the grocery store. How about Dr. Dorothy Height, 1912 to 2010, a godmother of the civil rights movement, president of the National Council of Negro Women, helped integrate all YWCAs in 1946. So you mean to tell me the YWCA, which stands for Youth Women Christian Association, they weren't letting blacks in their institution? Oh, really? Dr. Dorothy Height, godmother of the civil rights movement, president of the National Council of Negro Women, helped integrate, that means it was segregated, all YWCAs in 1946. Really? How about Phyllis Wheatley? All sisters. This is for you, black women. Salute. You the real MVP. If you holding down your family and you doing it by yourself, help is on the way. The Black Love Movement and the Hour of Power, we're going to lift the mind, body, and soul of the black woman, which we doing now, and we working on the black man. Hold on. Help is on the way. How about Phyllis Wheatley, 1753 to 1784, former slave, kidnapped from West Africa, became a servant for a family in Boston, learned how to read and write, and became the first woman to publish a book of poetry in 1773. That's Phyllis Wheatley, the first woman to publish a book of poetry. Phyllis Wheatley. This is for you, sisters. You the real MVP. How about Sojourner Truth, 1797 to 1883? Born Isabella Baumfree, escaped slavery with her infant daughter, gave a powerful speech at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention. In 1851, it was called Ain't I a Woman? Sojourner Truth. And it said she gave birth to at least 13 other children through rape. I believe that was her. Ain't I a Woman? She gave that powerful speech at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention, and she escaped slavery with her infant daughter, Sojourner Truth, one of my favorite. How about Mary McLeod Bethune, Mary Bethune, 1875 to 1955, an educator and a civil rights activist, found the National Council of Negro Women, president of the National Association of Colored Women, founder of Bethune-Cookman College in Florida. Mary McLeod Bethune, the founder of Bethune-Cookman College in Florida, an educator and a civil rights activist. How about Bessie Coleman, 1892 to 1926, first black woman to earn a pilot's license and first to stage a public flight in the U.S., a pioneer for women in aviation. Bessie Coleman, 1892 to 1926, first black woman to earn her pilot's license, first to stage a public flight in the U.S., and a pioneer for women in aviation, a black woman. This is for you, queens. Take your crown. Take your rightful place. You the first woman on this earth. You the real MVP. All other women are just your stepchildren, and our Latino sisters too. We're all the same. How about Lena Horne? 1917 to 2010, an actor known for her performances in a movie called Stormy Weather and The Wiz with Michael Jackson, supported civil rights, and listen to this, she refused to play roles in movies that stereotyped black women. Man, salute Lena Horne, you the real MVP. Lena Horne, her main acts was The Stormy Weather and The Wiz, supported civil rights and refused to play negative roles in movies that stereotyped black women. You the real MVP. How about Wilma Rudolph, 1940 to 1994, born premature, had polio. For those who they try to say, you can't do this and you can't do that. She was born premature, had polio. Doctors said she would never be able to walk or be a normal child. Well, guess what? There is a God above. She became a track star, the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at a single Olympics in 1960. Don't tell me what I can do and what I can't do, because he saw the best in me when everyone else saw the worst in me. Was born with polio and premature, and doctors said she'll never be a normal child. Became a track star and the first American woman to win 3 gold medals at a single Olympics in 1960s. That's Wilma Rudolph, 1940 to 1994. Are y'all feeling this? Are you ready to take your rightful place, black woman? October is for you. How about Billie Holiday, 1915 to 1959, very influential jazz vocalist, very distinctive voice. Famous songs were God Bless the Child and Strange Fruits about the lynchings in America. Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit about the lynchings in America, and God Bless the Child. Billie Holiday, may she rest in peace. How about Madam C.J. Walker? Come on, sisters. 1867 to 1919. One of the first female self-made millionaires. Invented healthcare products, especially for black women in 1905. Founded Madam C.J. Walker Laboratories that manufacture cosmetics and trained beauticians. Madam C.J. Walker, one of the first female self-made millionaires. Salute to you, queen. How about my sister Minnie Riperton? Minnie Riperton, 1947 and 1979. An American singer best known for her hits Lovin' You, Back Down Memory Lane, and Inside My Love. They said, I don't understand this, they said she could hit 4 octave levels. I don't know exactly what that means because I'm not into music like that, but she is one of my favorite singers. This is Minnie Riperton. Said she could hit 4 octave levels. Found out in 1976 that she had breast cancer. She still toured and became one of the first national spokesmen on a celebrity level for the American Cancer Society. On July 12th, at 10 a.m. in California, while lying in her husband's arms, she died from cancer while listening to Stevie Wonder. She was only 31. That is Minnie Riperton, and her songs is Back Down Memory Lane, Inside My Love, and Loving You. Died of cancer, breast cancer, at 31. And she promoting cancer on a celebrity status on the map. That's Minnie Riperton. This is really going way back. I'm almost done. How about Asia bint Muhaisin? Asia bint Muhaisin. Who in the heck is that, brother Shareef? She's revered by Muslims as one of the 4 best women of all time, other than Mary, the mother of Jesus, Khadijah, who was wife of Prophet Muhammad, and Fatima, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad. Asia was the wife of Pharaoh from the Bible, the same Pharaoh that put the Egyptians in slavery, and Moses separated the water and they drowned in the water. Asia was the wife of Pharaoh. In Islam, she is revered as one of the 4 greatest women of all time, behind Mary, mother of Jesus, Khadijah, wife of Prophet Muhammad, and Fatima, daughter of Prophet Muhammad. Asia was the wife of Pharaoh. She secretly accepted belief in one God and believed in the miracles of Moses. She worshiped and prayed in secret out of fear of her husband, Pharaoh, because he was a tyrant. And she also helped adopt Moses because he was sent down the river, as you know. Because of her belief in one God and because she stood up against Pharaoh, even though she did it in secret, Pharaoh had her tortured. Pharaoh had her tortured. This is Sister Asia, a sister that you'll probably never hear from anywhere else. But the Hour of Power and the Black Love Movement is bringing her back to life because she secretly accepted Moses, the prophet, by God, and worshiped and prayed. And she was a spiritual woman despite being married to this tyrant, this devil, Pharaoh. She is revered in Islam as one of the 4 greatest women to walk this earth, Aisha. And finally, ending out, if you've seen the post tonight, Betty Shabazz, born 1934 to 1997, born Betty Sanders, grew up in the Black Bottom in Detroit, attended Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. She was not feeling that area there in the Deep South, so she moved to New York. And in 1956, she married one of the greatest men to ever walk this earth, Minister Malcolm X. In 1956, they had 4 beautiful daughters. Unfortunately, she was in the audience at the Audubon Room, February 21st, 1965, when men assassinated her husband, Minister Malcolm, in front of her daughters. Unfortunately, she went on. She was an educator, a wife. Minister Malcolm wouldn't have been able to do what he did as effective as he did without the support of Betty Shabazz. Salute to her. You the real MVP. Salute to Coretta Scott King for backing up our brother Martin Luther King. Behind every strong man is a strong woman. Behind every strong man is a strong woman and a queen. We can't do this without you. If you got a man out there and he ain't ripping and running the streets and putting his hands on you, and he's out here trying to fight against this 500-pound gorilla we know is the beast, the devil that has been talked about in scripture, that ain't no man with no red suit on and no pitchfork. The devil is a man. And it's a spirit that whispers on your shoulder that we talked about before, fighting off the whispers of Satan. But he's a man. If you got someone bold enough and strong enough to fight off this chaos that is deliberately being put out in the streets, back that man up. Back him up. Make him a hot bath and say, baby, I'm proud of you. Back him up. Don't give him hell. Yeah, you may disagree about some things, but back that man up, especially if he's taking care of you and your children. Back that man up and say, I'm proud of you, King. Do you know what that does to the confidence of a man to know that his woman backs him up and supports him? Yeah, that gives us more strength to go out there the next day and conquer the world. And we are going to get this done. Oh, yeah. So she was there. And so in June of 1997, unfortunately, her grandson, which was the only male heir of Minister Malcolm, which was Malcolm X's grandson. He was only 12 at the time. Something was going on with the brother. He set her apartment on fire. She suffered over 80% of burns on her body. And 3 weeks later, our sister Betty Shabazz passed away. There you have it. All those beautiful queens that I just explained to you. Take your crown back, queen. I already untold you. You are the first woman on this earth. Everyone else is your stepchildren. That is a crown within itself. You just have to know it. Don't be following behind these silly ass movies depicting y'all as being whores and hoes and loud and obnoxious. Take your crown. Know your place. And our Latino sisters too. We are family. And they are really afraid of that. The only difference between you and us is a boat stop. A boat stop in the Caribbean orchestrated by that demon, Christopher Columbus. He never came here to America. He only stopped in the islands like the Caribbean and in Jamaica and places like that. He never came here. He never came here. Hence is why we're going to meet October the 8th at Penn Park on Columbus Day, and we're going to teach our children the truth. How can we tell them that we're teaching them the truth, not to abuse women, to respect children, but yet we have a holiday for a child molester, a pedophile, and a serial killer? Meaning Christopher Columbus. How can we say we're telling? Those are conflicting beliefs and ideas. We are confusing our children. I'd rather tell them Santa Claus exists than to go along with this BS lie that's been going on since 1937 at the least. That's when Columbus Day became an official holiday here in America, 1937. How can we say we teaching them the truth and then don't tell them that? He is a pedophile, a serial killer, and a murderer. Brought starved dogs for 3 days after he came back from his second voyage and let them run wild into the islands to rip the Native Americans apart. He brought syphilis and gonorrhea here. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He brought syphilis and gonorrhea here, and he gets a holiday. But yet Martin Luther King risked his life for freedom, justice, and equality for all. And then Ronald Reagan signed it into a bill in 1983, but it didn't pass to January 20th of 1986. And then some states still didn't recognize it, like Arizona. Yeah, he had to go through that. Where's Minister Malcolm's holiday? We don't need their approval anyway, but where is it? He didn't molest no children. He didn't exterminate 2 million people because he was bold enough to resist racism. You want to demonize him? How about Harriet Tubman's holiday? How about Frederick Douglass's holiday? How about Boukman Duddy's holiday? How about Toussaint Louverture's holiday? How about Queen Anne Nzinga's holiday? All they did was bold enough to resist your racism. But they don't get no holiday, but a child molester, a serial killer, a murderer, someone who brought disease and famine and introduced the idea of slavery. He gets a holiday? Really? What are you about, America? But you want to give Bill Cosby 3 to 10 for sexual assault, and if he did it, he belongs there. All we're asking for is equal justice. But you make a holiday out of a known and documented child molester and serial killer and pedophile? Hell no. On October the 8th, we say no to Columbus Day. Meet me at the park at noon at Penn Park. And we're going to have the youth there and we're going to tell them the truth. And we're going to bring the community there and say no to Columbus Day. They off anyway. We might as well tell them the truth. You can't pick and choose when you tell the truth. I'd rather tell them Santa Claus exists, and we know that's a lie, than to tell them this. At least the folklore Santa Claus, he wasn't murdering people and molesting children. He just lied about what he gave the children. I'd rather go with that than to go with what they trying to do and what they've been doing on the second Monday of every October, Columbus Day. Never came to America. The Olympics and the Native Americans were here doing business thousands of years. Look at the stone heads that weigh a ton that they've been discovering. Stone heads with African features, thick lips and broad nose. It's called the Olmec, O-L-M-E-C civilization. The pyramids in Mexico, stair-step pyramids, they look exactly like the pyramids in Egypt from 10,000 years ago, which proves the African presence in Mexico. Queen, wear your crown. Take your rightful place. Demand it. If a man rolls up on you talking about, hey, baby, stop him and say, what's your intentions with me? What's your intentions with me? Well, what do you mean by that? He starts stuttering and can't give you a clear, concise, and precise answer. You know you got a clown on your hand. I know I'm going to step on a lot of toes with this, but oh well. I'm going to die anyway. I might as well go out telling the truth and uplifting the queens. If a man can't give you no commitment, no cookies. No commitment, no cookies. No commitment, no cookies. Say it in your sleep. No commitment, no cookies. No commitment, no cookies. He come to you talking all that BS. He's going to have to come with something correct. No cookies, no commitment, no cookies. And you will get respect. That will automatically raise you back to where you're supposed to be. No commitment, no cookies. And he start talking all this game, just ask a simple question. What's your intentions with me? If he can't tell you, and if it ain't marriage and to elevate you and dignify you, what you doing it for? What are you in it for? You understand? This is coming from your brother. And if you don't know the questions to ask, dial 919-265-4119. If a brother rolls up on you or whoever, and you're not sure what to do, dial 919-265-4119, and your brother will assist you in picking the right man. I ain't too proud to say it. And I will save you from a lifelong of tears and heartache. All right? I'm going to say it one more time. No commitment, no cookies. And ask the golden question. What is your intentions with me? If he's stuttering and stammering and can't give you a clear, concise answer about your future, and especially if you got children, you got a potential clown-ass Negro or devil on your hands. All right? Wear your crown, queen. Know your place. I just gave you 15 powerful women. I could go on another 2 hours. Know your place. Come out on October the 8th. Tune in this Wednesday at 8 o'clock. As we will talk about the value of the woman on the Hour of Power, 8 o'clock on Channel 16 Local Access TV, and streaming live on Facebook. And on the 10th, we're going to have one for the ages on the Hour of Power, but I ain't going to talk about that yet. But we will be promoting what we're doing on the 10th, and it's going to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people, and particularly our youth. The Hour of Power and the Black Love Movement is on the rise. I thank you for listening. This is Women's Month and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We will be going hard on those issues, only like the Hour of Power and the Black Love Movement can do. I thank you for listening, and I leave you in peace as I came. Assalamu alaikum.